Well, after losing to Newcastle, losing to Inter Milan, Arsenal have gone ahead, obviously, get more injuries. Remember, Declan Rice was ruled out of the game of Inter Milan and never took part, and is also doubtful into the game of Chelsea that they're set to play. It's not only Declan Rice, but even Kai Havertz and Mikel Merino, who came off in the game of Inter Milan looking injured, are really looking doubtful. And Mikel Arteta yesterday came up and obviously had something to say about them. Smash the like button, comment and share. If you're totally watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. Rokani David is my name, and hope you guys are really having fun, and continue to obviously subscribe. Continue to subscribe because we want to hit 30,000 subscribers onto this channel. Now, remember, we are powered by Mono Gadgets, and you know they are dealers in brand new phones and brand new laptops. And if at all you need used phones and used laptops from the United Kingdom, you can call them onto the number that I'm going to be flashing onto your screen, and you'll thank me later, because they really have some good gadgets that will obviously help you really join what we call the A-class, the A-class level of doing things. So you can call them on +256 70 99 88 665, and that is Mono Gadgets for you, and you'll thank me later. You can as well go on TikTok, search for Mono Gadgets, and after searching for Mono Gadgets, you can really follow them up to see the wide range of products that they obviously have gone ahead officially put up for you to obviously choose one, right? So that is it. Now let's obviously start it off with Declan Rice. Remember, he missed out on the game of Inter Milan, and Arteta was asked yesterday on his availability in the game of Chelsea. Arteta had the following to say: I have to be very vague on that one because there is no clarity on whether he's going to be fit for the weekend. So there is no clarity whether he's really going to be fit for the weekend or not, and why it's very important obviously have him back. You remember what he went ahead to do in that game last season. Arsenal were 2-0, I think, by the 60th minute, and then Declan Rice was responsible for pulling one back when Sanchez went ahead to make a blind pass, went ahead to hit that ball, and it went ahead obviously go into the back of the net. After that, Saka went ahead obviously deliver a very good teasing far post cross, and obviously Trossard went ahead to level that game and ended 1-2 in favor of nobody. And if you're missing out on a player like Declan Rice, it really hurts you a lot in this game, because Declan Rice was one of the rejects, Chelsea Academy rejects, He was really a Chelsea Academy reject, and every time he's playing Chelsea, he's like, let me come hurt you to make you reminisce on how much you lost out on a player, and you took me and I went to West Ham, yet you guys had the chance to obviously have me at Chelsea. You would have gone ahead obviously loan me like Conor Gallagher and maybe get me back, but the way you really got me out of here was really very vague. And the same thing happened to Arsenal in Harry Kane. We all know that Harry Kane was in the academy of Arsenal, and the academy head by then was like, if Harry Kane is to stay here, he's really gonna go in goal because he cannot lead the line. And then he decided to go to Tottenham Hotspur. And I think in this world there is no striker that has gone to score very many goals against Arsenal than Harry Kane. You get Harry Kane has gone ahead to score against Arsenal. Even when he met them in the Champions League, he went ahead to score against them in the 2 games they played last season. He scored against them. So Harry Kane, every time he finds Arsenal, he's really charged. He's like, all right, you went ahead to obviously reject me at Arsenal, and every time I find you, I have to score against you. So that is what Declan Rice has, because he knows to it that I have to raise myself when I'm playing against Chelsea, because I need to show them that you guys missed out. Now, he's doubtful, and I think by the end of today, we'll be knowing whether he would have gone to train with the club of Arsenal, or he would have gone ahead to arrive in the hotel of Arsenal with other players. So that's where we are really waiting to see whether the manager is really waiting to really see. Maybe he'll be put onto the lead fitness test. And the manager has come out and really got asked about whether he has broken his toe. And he said, that's for the doctor. What I can say is that he hasn't trained yet, and it's not clear whether he's going to be available or not to play. So they're telling us that he hasn't gone ahead to train with Arsenal. So it shows you that he's one of the hugest doubts in the game of football as Arsenal prepare us to go ahead and we play against Chelsea, because of the importance of this game. That's why everyone is like, Declan Rice should be around. But I believe they can go far even without him against Chelsea, because I saw Chelsea play against Manchester United. They are not all that elite in that midfield. I know Romeo Lavia is good, Caicedo is good, but I don't think that if at all you're having Partey, Jorginho, Jorginho, and Odegaard, that midfield cannot supersede the midfield of Chelsea. That midfield can supersede their side. But the guy hasn't gone ahead to train. But shockingly, England has gone ahead to obviously include him onto the squad. They're expecting to obviously take part into the international break. And I think Arsenal has to use this to see to it that they put Declan Rice out of the game of Chelsea, such that he gets those 2 weeks of rest. You get? Because I think he needs to rest. He played so much football last season. I think he played with the 38 games of Arsenal. He played with the Champions League games of Arsenal, meaning that he played 38 games in the Premier League. He went ahead to play all the group games in the Champions League. That took him to 44 games. Then he played in the round of 16 and quarterfinals. Those are 40 games. He played in the Community Shield, that is 41 games. And then he played in the Euros, all the 7 games, he played them. So when you add on the games that he played in the international break, meaning that he went ahead to play close to 70 games a season, and he never went to get what we call ample rest. And this is where I believe the manager went ahead to obviously get it wrong when he really started him hugely, And I think the manager also pushed to get in a midfielder that was at the Euros and couldn't obviously hit the ground running, and came in, that is Mikel Merino. So it looks like Arteta really has some box he needs to tick, and I think they need to obviously get this guy rested to see to it that he really recharges. If he doesn't really take part in the international break, that means he would have gone ahead to find himself in a position of really putting in a very huge recharge. Remember, he last played against Newcastle, and if he last played against Newcastle, that means he would have gone ahead to rest for 3 weeks, and I think those 3 weeks will enable him to recharge his batteries to obviously see to it that when Arsenal returns after the international break, they come up to do the needful. Now, Declan Rice looks like to be out, but there are 2 others who are really also doubtful for the game of Chelsea, and that is Kai Havertz and Mikel Merino. Now, we go back to the post-match press conference of Mikel Arteta when Arsenal lost to Inter Milan. He was asked on the handball rule and Kai Havertz's injury. Said, "We are told at the start of the season that that wasn't a penalty. That was clear. Today it was a different story." Regarding Kai, he said, "Yeah, he's got a big cut. He needed to come off because he needed some stitches, but hopefully he's going to be okay for the weekend." So by then he was like, Kai Havertz looks like he's going to be okay for the weekend. Then on Mikel Merino, he said he was not concussed, but yesterday and today he was already not feeling great. After when I looked at him, I decided to take him off because I need him at 100%. So he's like, he took off those players, Kai Havertz because of the cut, then for Mikel Merino because he felt like he was not 100% fit. And with Declan Rice really being doubtful for the game of Chelsea, you need Mikel Merino alongside Thomas Partey into that midfield. So yesterday, when asked about Kai Havertz and Mikel Merino on whether they're okay, he said, "We'll have to wait until tomorrow, that is today, to see how they react. Kai had quite a nasty cut and he could not continue." With Mikel Merino, to be fair, the day before he wasn't feeling great, and we decided to sub him at halftime. So that's what the side of Arteta has gone ahead to say about these others. But if you're heading in a game of Chelsea and you're not having Declan Rice, then you wouldn't like to obviously be missing out on Mikel Merino. You get? And Kai Havertz, because you know to it that the number one forward for Arsenal is Kai Havertz, and he's this kind of person who has shown us that he can thrive in any game. In big games and small games, he can obviously thrive. So I think he's the right guy that you'll call for an assignment, obviously against the side of Chelsea. And for Mikel Merino, you need him because you are not having Declan Rice. And he has shown us that he's really improving every other game that he plays. And he really would have wanted to get himself a penalty, though the referee or VAR really said no to that. When Jan Sommer had to punch his head after missing out on the ball, and he really had a very huge contribution in the penalty that Arsenal conceded. So this time round, looks like Mikel is like, I want Mikel Merino. And I believe that Kai Havertz, Mikel Merino might make it into this game of football, because the reasons that Arteta gave for them to be out are really not all that worse. But for the side of Declan Rice, that's where the huge doubts have gone ahead, obviously kick in into this beautiful game of football. So guys, thank you very much for watching through. Rokani David is my name. Hope you guys are really having fun. Let's see close to 100 likes much of this video. I'm calling upon for your reactions into the comment section below about Declan Rice, Kai Havertz and Merino. Doubtful for this game of football of Chelsea. It's a London derby. London derby. I think Chelsea is in West London. Is it in West London, Central London? And Arsenal is in North London. But we all know that it's the North London. It's the London derby. And this time round, Arsenal hasn't gone ahead to enjoy a lot in the London derbies. You know, you saw how they beat Spurs. You know, but did they beat Brentford? So I'm gonna really make some huge research and see how many London derbies have they gonna play this. I think they beat Fulham, right? They beat Fulham. So let's wait and see how things pan out. But this is Rokani David, and this is how everything really goes ahead, obviously pan out into the mix. I sign out for now. See you later, and continue to subscribe because we are really back. I'm sorry I've been really away for some time, some days, but consistency is back. That's why you've gone ahead, obviously find yourself getting this modding video here onto the Rokani Media Football. We out. Bye bye.